All right, hello everybody, and welcome to Iron Sky Quarantine Relief Stream. This is Timo writing or saying hello to you from my quarantine, not quarantine necessarily, but lockdown place, which is my home here in Lauttasaari, Helsinki. I hope you guys are have been safe. I hope you guys have been healthy. I hope there's a lot of things for you to do during the quarantine time, and I do hope that you guys are respecting the quarantine guidelines. At least here in Finland, currently we are in a situation where we are in quite total lockdown. The country is in lockdown, and also Helsinki area is in lockdown specifically because we have the biggest amount of things going on over here. So that's an interesting situation, and that's the reason we have decided with our Iron Sky guys, girls, people decided to start working on completely something that's gonna keep you guys nailed to your screens, staying at homes instead of wandering out into the wild and trying to wandering into the wild and getting risk of getting infected by this terrible disease called COVID-19 or coronavirus. That's the reason we have decided to start these little quarantine sessions every Saturday. But in addition to that, not just that, we're also going to be releasing a brand new film from the Iron Sky team next week during the Easter time. So you will be entertained by that, and that film will be released completely for free on the internet. It's a documentary made by a very talented young filmmaker, Tuomas Tuppurainen, who is one of the most one of the people who has been working for quite a long time with us, with Iron Sky, knows everything in and out and has seen all the ups and downs and lows. And he has created or directed and edited and done everything else on a documentary which is called Shoot for the Moon. And this documentary's trailer I will be showing you in just a little time. But first, let me just see all the connections here work. Like I said, I'm not completely versatile with all of this. I'm using this OBS system as a streaming kind of thing, and then it's coming live to YouTube. I trust this is good. But if you guys have a moment to see if everything looks about right, you hear the sound, you can see the video, quality is good enough. It's probably not amazing, but it should be at least somewhat relatively good quality. And you can write some comments on the live chat. The live chat should be activated, and I can already see something happening over here. Very good. So while Luigi is telling that he is talking with friends over WhatsApp and everything is fine, how about me? I've been staying healthy, thank you very much, and I think all the people from Iron Sky team currently at least have been staying healthy. I do hope our extended family is healthy. I do hope all our fans are healthy. But personally, I've been staying healthy, so I'm pretty happy about that. But yeah, you never know. It's tricky times. M. Devendal is telling hello from Amsterdam. Alice and Flicking, that's great. Alive, I was thinking alive and kicking. I hope that's something that's doing. I've been using this time very productively. I've been obviously we've been working quite a lot with Iron Sky, and there's always a lot of work, but especially now that we have new film coming out from the team, it's definitely something that keeps us quite busy. But in addition to that, I've been using the time trying to watch as much movies as possible. I actually started this little project called 100 Days of Horror, where I watch one horror film every day, and I do a little YouTube on that. So you can go to my channel and follow that in there. You can find it under my name on YouTube, and sign up over there if you're interested in horror films and a little horror film challenge for these times. But yeah, anyway, this is something that we've been doing now for quite a while, actually. Tuomas has been putting together this documentary for the last couple of years, and it's lived quite a lot of iterations, but right now we finally found the way we like it the best. And now I want to show you guys the trailer. And again, I'm sorry if this trailer doesn't work exactly the way it's supposed to, because it's kind of streaming from here. Don't kill me, don't worry about it. It's gonna be also available on the YouTube channel at Iron Sky channel right now, I think right after this. But I think you should be able to see it on this live stream right now if I click this one button. Let's see what happens.
I want to make films which are traveling all over the world.
That's the story where you can get famous or you will land under the bridge.
This, what we're doing here, is trying to shake up the science fiction world.
It doesn't take much to upset the cart that defines the difference between financial success and failure.
Holy crap.
Is that a problem?
If we want, we can revisit the numbers, but
The biggest problems are not yet solved, and I have no guarantees that this will end up good.
Just one day after, we got to the end of the tunnel, a new tunnel was made. When is this then gonna end?
I still think that it was kind of the only way, but definitely not the easy way.
Yay! 10%! That's a good start.
We ended up borrowing a super highly expensive money. It's like you go to the mafia.
There's so many troubles, there's so many challenges. It's not necessarily nice to have this one more.
On the other hand, you see there's all those people who see the potential, and you feel this story is not yet there. So we have to continue, we have to go on.
Okay, that's it. I hope it worked the way it's supposed to be working. Like I said, this OBS system is quite new for me. But anyway, this is what we've been working on, and it's gonna be, like I said, 1 hour long documentary. Not necessarily completely about the making of Iron Sky. Obviously, that's the key. But I think what I like about this documentary the best is that it has a much bigger, much larger story to tell. It's about entrepreneurship. It's about kind of chasing for quite impossible dreams. Because you know what? I was just wondering the other day when going back in time many years, when we were sitting in the sauna with Jarmo and all the people from the people from Iron Sky team, the original idea was born, and thinking what kind of journey we've gone from that moment to this moment. Like how it's been like 15 years, I guess, from that moment, and it's a bunch of 20-year somethings come up with the crazy idea. The idea that actually turns into an actual movie and actually is out there is already, it's impossible. I was wondering, like, how did we actually manage to do all of that? And coming back every now and then, I think it's pretty good reality check. Like, wow, it hasn't been an easy road. And this documentary is talking partly about that. It's also talking about like the hardships of being an entrepreneur in a very, very complicated business. So that's also hopefully something that you take away home with that. Anyway, that's something that's interesting. Now I'm gonna see some of the comments over here. Okay, yep, it's working. That's great. It worked. Good job. Thank you. Really happy to hear that the whole thing works. Hello, Francesco, as well. So that's something that we've been working, and like I said, it's coming out, and it's coming out for the Easter for you guys, because today is also an important day. We have to remember that today is not just any day. We're not just doing this little live chat just for the fun of it. There actually is a reason to celebrate today. I don't have a beer right now with me, but I do have one in my fridge, and I'm going to open it right after this. But today, Iron Sky is actually 8 years old. Indeed, 8 years ago, Iron Sky was first theatrically released in the world, starting from Finland, and from there we started to release the film all over the Europe, and then starting to go here and there and wherever. So this has been an interesting 8 years, I must say. But yeah, 8 years ago was the day that everything started to actually really happen. Obviously, we had the film released in Berlin Film Festival and some other festivals a little bit before that. But this is the time when regular people were able to go to the cinema and start watching Iron Sky, and that was it was one of the most important, obviously, moments in the whole history of Iron Sky, and many more were to follow, but that was when everything kind of started. So there's some discussion going on right now. Soren is asking about when is the new Iron Sky movie coming out. Yeah, I don't know right now. So currently, well, the situation is quite interesting. Let me actually read you a little statement that I have here. I think it's already online, but maybe I share this statement with everybody currently, because this is telling quite a lot. So the question is, what's going on? And this is mostly for the Iron Sky supporters, but basically for everybody. It's pretty good information for everybody to know what's going actually on with the Iron Sky. So what we're telling you here is, Iron Sky supporters, it has been a while since we've been in touch, so I think it's best we give you a quick update on where are we now and how this COVID-19 situation is influencing us and our plans. Now, it would be a gross lie to say that we are financially in a very compromised situation because of the virus. Our problems have started much before that, but the whole situation isn't helping us out at all. I'm sorry about that. That's for sure. Currently, we are struggling to keep the franchise going, but without an external help, it's a losing battle, unfortunately. Turns out building an international franchise is way more complicated, expensive, taxing business than we could have ever imagined back when we started this whole thing in Sauna in Tampere, Finland, so many years ago. So many of you have been waiting for some of the perks that we have promised to deliver in our crowdfunding campaign, namely the fan edition Blu-rays and DVDs. Unfortunately, we are not in any way closer to the solution now that everything around the world is in lockdown, quarantine, and companies are going down, and investors are getting very careful. Whatever plans we had before the spring of 2020 are now in complete standstill, and we don't know if we'll be able to reignite them. Still, we haven't given up, far from it. The plans for Iron Sky Future are still going forward, as we believe that once we re-emerge from the other side of the international pandemic crisis, the world is in grave need for movies and TV shows, more than ever before. We hope that we'll be able to hang on through these crazy times, and once the world is back up and running, we're still there to kick some Nazi ass, and simultaneously to find a solution to get the missing perks to you eventually. As a reminder, all of you supporters who have been waiting for Iron Sky The Coming Race Fan Edition DVD or Blu-ray are entitled for a digital copy of the film. Now, I know for sure it's not the same as a Blu-ray, but at least you have a chance to see the film. We have been sending the codes out to you, but if for whatever reason you haven't received it, or if it has ceased to work for whatever reason, please drop an email to info@ironsky.net, and we'll make sure you get your dose of Iron Sky for these quarantine times. Anyway, what I'm suggesting is you stay tuned. Following Iron Sky Future here on YouTube or wherever. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and we'll be keeping you as updated as possible on what's actually happening with our story. Yeah, so this is where we are right now. Let me take I'm sorry, guys. I'm figuring this system out again. Where are we now? Oh, yeah. So we are here. Okay, here we go. Waluigi tells me, Thomas Miettinen says that the trailer looked great, and Waluigi says, I have watched both for free. That's great. That is obviously awesome that people have been able to see the film, and hopefully at one point, they'll have a chance to support the filmmakers as well, even if they ended up for somehow watching the film for free, and even if not, then just sharing the information, telling about the film to the world is already quite nice. So yeah, okay, this is where we are right now. So what's going to happen next week is basically the following. Next week, and I think this is I'm not going to give you the date because I'm not completely sure right now. I think it's on April 10th. Yeah, it's on April 10th. We will be releasing Iron Sky team's next film called Shoot for the Moon, the documentary by Tuomas Tuppurainen, live, and we'll be releasing it, we'll be putting it out at the same time for everybody to see. So we're gonna use YouTube's instant premiere option, which means that you guys and we will be able to watch it together and follow the conversation that arises there. And obviously after that, we will be I'll be trying to get us into some sort of connection for Q&A. So there's a chance for me and the me and Tero and the director Tuomas Tuppurainen to join us for Q&A. I don't know technically how it's going to work, so if that for some reason doesn't happen, I'm sorry about that. I'm trying it anyway. But the idea is that next on it's called the Good Friday. So on the Good Friday, we'll release the movie, we'll watch the movie together. We'll already engage in conversation there, and afterwards there's going to be Q&A for us to discuss about the movie, and it's hopefully something that's gonna keep you entertained for quite a while, because I think personally it's quite a damn good documentary, I must say. And it's easy for me to say because I didn't direct it. I'm just showing my ugly face there, and that's all I did. So there's actually some talented people doing this film, which I think is fantastic. But yeah, that's what it is. Now let me take a little look at this. Some comments going on here. There's Unchanted Animation saying Iron Sky Dictator's Cut is the best movie I've seen. Thank you very much. I also think that Dictator's Cut is slightly better, or at least it's more meticulous than the first Iron Sky. I think it tells the story better. That it has a better chance to tell the story than the actual sort of the theatrical cut, although the theatrical cut already is, I think, pretty good. But Dictator's Cut has a chance to poke in a couple of more jokes and a couple of more points, which I think makes a big difference in the whole world. So that's what Unchanted Animation is saying. Thank you very much. Jakob Kortzfleisch from Poland, I believe. Jakob Kortzfleisch, I went to see... I went to the cinema for The Coming Race because I was delighted the first one. I was not disappointed. Thank you very much. I'm really happy about that. That was The Coming Race was definitely obviously a bit different, but at the same time it's a film that's coming from the same sort of chaos or same sort of insanity, which I think makes it an interesting experience. Yeah, best viewed in theaters. I do agree with you on that. That's how we make the films. Now, obviously, that's an interesting situation, an interesting discussion which we could take. It's like what's going to happen after the COVID crisis, after everything, after this whole thing is over. How, now that we're very much used and we are actually reliant on watching movies on Netflix and streaming services, nobody can even go to movie theaters. How this is going to transfer into the world after this? Now, will we see a decline in overall theatrical visitations? I hope not, because theatrical visitations, they still are the bread and butter, but I do hope that streaming and theatrical are gonna be able to marry them together better and actually discuss some terms that make it possible that films are easily more available, which will help them distribute more, spread more, and makes it possible for people from all over the world to see the film approximately at the same time. Vipa is asking if the third movie is indeed about Soviets on Mars, and I hope there will be Lenin somewhere if that's the case. Well, cannot tell you too much. I can tell you that it's not about... I used to remember by the way, this brings me back to the old days when we were really promoting First Iron Sky many years ago, and there used to be one person who was always in our audience, and he was asking about something about mind-controlled gorillas. That is this film going to be about mind-controlled gorillas or something like that? And he used to ask that in every place we were promoting the movie. This guy popped up somewhere and said, "Is this movie about mind-controlled gorillas?" And Iron Sky, the first Iron Sky wasn't. The second wasn't. Third isn't gonna be about mind-controlled gorillas, but maybe we should do, just for the sake of it, a film about mind-controlled gorillas. I don't remember, was it mind-controlled though, or something else? It's a good topic though, mind-controlled gorillas. I could watch a film about mind-controlled gorillas. What kind of story would there be? So there is a laboratory. Maybe it would be like an Iron Sky sort of a spin-off. That in a laboratory somewhere on the moon, they start to... Dr. Richter, actually... this is before the first Iron Sky. Okay, so here comes the story. Before the first Iron Sky. So Dr. Richter... if you've been following the actual lore of Iron Sky, you know that Nazis have been coming back from the moon to Earth ever since, from the 60s and 70s, and they did a lot of they are the reason for many of the disappearing cows and crop circles and all that. This is all actually explained in Iron Sky, the graphic novel, which is something that we released. It's not available, I think, anymore, but it's the story is available, and maybe we should put that out actually as a PDF, because it's really fun backstory. Anyway, so my story about mind-controlled gorillas would be that it's an experiment by Dr. Richter, and we are following Dr. Richter as he creates this race of not superhuman, but super gorilla, sort of intelligent gorillas who then go rampant, and the whole base is in horrible is under attack when suddenly everywhere we have these mind-controlled gorillas, and they are fighting and all that. So I think that would turn into a fun movie. Maybe we'll do that one day. There's some other topics. Mars 9 is saying, what's wrong with Lenin? There's nothing wrong with Lenin. I think Lenin is I'm actually reading, by the way, right now a book about communist, like how the Soviet Union became what it is, and it's quite an interesting story. Did you know that Lenin also spent a huge amount of time before becoming the rebel in Soviet Union in Tampere, Finland, where Iron Sky is born also, and also in Helsinki. There's even in one restaurant a table where he said that he was plotting some of the things in Juttutupa restaurant which you can take, and so that's part of the true things. All right, Manikant is saying that Mind Control Goals sounds like a micro Christian book. Yeah, I'd love that. First Iron Sky, badass looking Nazis. Yeah, good. Oh yes, and Jarmo Puskala is joining the conversation over here, saying, oh yes, the gorilla thing was kind of my fault. Back when we were in stealth mode, I would tell the idea of the film to even my friends, so they decided it's about ninja gorillas. Oh yes, it was ninja gorillas. So I'm going to add this mind-controlled ninja gorillas. That sounds like really, yeah, Dr. Richter's botched experiment on the moon, which turns into a rampant, horrible. It could be like an action film on the moon base, just taking place on the moon base. It's a fun. Tero, if you're listening to this, Tero, listen to this. This is good, Tero. I'll write a script for you. Let's do this. This is great. Let's do mind-controlled ninja gorillas on the Nazi moon base on the dark side of the moon. That's great. This is fantastic. We have young Dr. Richter fighting. We have, Wolfgang Korfa. Udo is there for sure. We'll have a great film out of there. I love this one. Anyway, here we go. So let's not get carried away. Anyway, I'm gonna go back into the main topic, and then I'm gonna stop this because I'm just yammering on this. It makes no sense. So, firstly, there will be a new Iron Sky related movie coming out next week. It's Iron Sky. It's the story of Iron Sky, the trials and tribulations of about making the Iron Sky. It's story about entrepreneurship. It's called Shoot for the Moon. It's directed by Tuomas Tuppurainen, very, very talented guy. And it is coming out on our YouTube channel next, I guess, Friday, the Good Friday on 10th. 10th is the day, and it's coming out. We'll be watching it. We will be releasing it on a YouTube instant premiere, which means that we'll be watching it the same time as you. So we'll have a proper premiere. So spread the word that something like this is coming out, and then let's watch it, and then let's talk about it, and then let's start sharing it like hell. Let's get the story of Iron Sky everywhere. There's also going to be some other new stuff we'll be putting out around that time, or fun stuff for you to spend time during the quarantine. That's the reason we call this Iron Sky Quarantine Relief. By the way, I want to thank you at this point. This has been a extremely fun time to talk with you. I hope that you are staying safe. I hope that you are staying healthy. I hope that you are staying inside. I hope that you are spending a lot of time watching a lot of great and not so great movies. I will see you next week on Good Friday when we release Iron Sky's the documentary about Iron Sky entrepreneurship, filmmaking, about all the crazy people behind this whole thing, about the crazy story of what we've gone through, and it's coming out on Good Friday, and it's called Shoot for the Moon by Tuomas Tuppurainen. Until then, stay safe. See you. Bye bye.